बड़ी सोहनी तरह बड़े सुचज्जे ढंग नाल अपने विचारां नूं पेश कीता सतवीर कौर ने। हुण मैं बेनती करांगा सिमरत कौर मटरेजा।
ठीकर फोर दलीस सिर प्रपर किया प्यान, तेग बहादुर सी क्रिया करी न किन्हू आन। तेग बहादुर के चलत पयो जगत को सोग, है सब जग पयो, जय 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 सुरलोक। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Dear respected judges, the Guru Pyari Sad Sangat ji. Few moments shine so bright and powerful that they illuminate generations to come. Tan Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's Shahidi is as such in his event. His ultimate sacrifice in Chandni Chowk, Delhi isn't a distant historical event, but instead a timeless lesson on resisting tyranny that resonates with the struggles for human rights, freedom of conscience, and dignity in our modern age today. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji is known as Hind Di Chadar. This title was earned by his unselfish gesture that went beyond religious boundaries. He serves as a compelling reminder that the fight against oppression is a global one and requires cross-faith collaboration. In a world currently plagued by religious intolerance, xenophobia, and abuse of power, the lessons of his Shahidi are more important now than ever. The story of the Kashmiri Pandits approaching Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib is the opening chapter of this lesson. When faced with the tyrannical demand of Emperor Aurangzeb to convert to Islam or face the punishment of death, the Hindu Pandits, under immense duress, sought the help of Sikh Guru, Navi Padshah, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib. As it is written in Gurbani, Prabh tir kirpa tari, har marari, pais hind sagar tarno, jo sharan aave, tis kanth lave, eh bird swami sanda. God, giver of mercy, destroyer of pride, carries us across this terrifying world ocean of poison. The Lord lovingly embraces whoever comes to his sanctuary, as that is the way of the Lord. The Hindu Pandits did not appeal to Guru Sahib based on shared faith. Instead, they knew of his moral authority and spiritual courage. His decision was not driven by religious affinity. It was driven by the universal purpose and principle of defending human rights. Bal Gobind Rai ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਮਹਾਨ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੀ ਸ਼ਹਾਦਤ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਬਾਲ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਰਾਏ ਨੇ ਉੱਤਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਤਾ, ਆਪ ਜੀ ਤੋਂ ਮਹਾਨ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਹੋਰ ਕੌਣ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ? This cemented Guru Sahib's resolve. This moment defines resistance based on principle. Standing up for justice is important because justice is non-negotiable, not because the victims are like you. We witness instances where people are persecuted for faith, origin, ethnicity. For example, the Rohingya crisis, the Uyghur human rights abuses, anti-Semitism that is rioting today are just a few examples. Guru Sahib carries a legacy that compels us to look beyond our own immediate interests and stand in solidarity for all those who face oppression. Guru Sahib teaches us justice is not selective, it is indivisible. Guru Sahib's second lesson is the unyielding courage when confronted with the full might of state power. Guru Sahib was faced with a barbaric spectacle. His devout followers were brutally executed. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਭਾਈ ਮਤੀ ਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਧੜ ਦੇ ਦੋ ਹਿੱਸੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ। ਭਾਈ ਦਿਆਲਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਜੀਂਦੇ ਜੀ ਉਬਾਲਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਭਾਈ ਸਤੀ ਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਰੂੰ 'ਚ ਲਪੇਟ ਕੇ ਸਾੜਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਇਹ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਨਾ ਟੁੱਟੀ। ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਤੇ ਧੰਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਪਿਆਰੇ। Guru Sahib was offered a choice. He could convert to Islam, perform a miracle, or face death. Guru Sahib nu pata si that performing a miracle would compromise his spiritual integrity. So he chose to sacrifice his life, not as an act of submission, instead as the highest form of defiance. Guru Sahib sacrificed himself for Dharam. He laid down his head but not his creed. As Guru Gobind Singh Sahib wrote in his Bani, Guru Sahib said, "Sees diya par sir na diya." He gave his head but not his honor. This is the true measure of courage. Guru Sahib teaches us that the unwavering commitment to truth and justice in the form of mortal fear is the true courage, not the ability to inflict harm. Or as it is written in Gurbani, "Pa kahu ko detna na pa manat an, kaun anak sinre mana gyani tae bakhan." One who doesn't frighten and isn't afraid of anyone else, says Guru Nanak, he is who we can call spiritually wise. Guru Sahib teaches us that whether it's resisting corrupt political systems today, unjust corporate practices, or social bigotry, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's example sets a firm moral compass that is most powerful against oppression. He teaches us that while non-violent, his Shahidi had a profound effect on resistance that followed. Peaceful protest, he taught us, could alert a sleeping population and shame an unjust ruler. From this emerged the Khalsa Panth, a collective of Sant Sipahis, Sikh soldiers, prepared to use force as a last resort to defend justice and righteousness. Instead of condoning violence for personal gain or revenge, Guru Sahib framed it as a righteous duty when all other means have been exhausted. Guru Sahib teaches us that in order to survive in the tyranny of this modern world today, we must always strive for peaceful solutions. However, we must also be prepared to defend the vulnerable and oppose violent extremists with decisive force when necessary. The final and most enduring lessons from Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Shahidi that we can take today is the power of collective action and resilience of the human spirit. Guru Sahib taught us through his Gursikhs that the story of Bhai Jata Ji, the example he set by retrieving Guruji's severed head, and by Lakhi Shavanjara's bravery, that he did the Antam Saskar of Guruji's body despite the risk to their own lives, further illustrates Guru Sahib's lesson. Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji makes us more conscious of how momentary the material world is, but rather than making us feel hopeless and depressed, he uplifts the human mind and gives us hope that permeates our lives in this world. Even in the present day, when the forces of hatred, fanaticism, and tyranny are still strong and powerful, the life, the Shahidi, and the teachings of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib are extremely important. As we reflect on the Shahidi of Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji today, we are reminded that resisting tyranny is not a task for the faint of heart. Can't be done by anyone. It's a journey that demands moral clarity, unwavering courage, and profound compassion for all of humanity. In a world still searching for its moral compass, Guru Sahib's sacrifice sets a clear path. He says, stand up for the rights of all, not just your own. Defend human dignity, no matter the personal cost, and have the courage to choose principle over comfort and what's easy. Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Shahidi today urges us to be shields of the vulnerable and voices for the oppressed, to resist tyranny in today's world just as he portrayed. Tan Tan Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji nu yaad rakhdiyan hoya. Thank you for listening to this commemorative speech about him. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.